Hey there, we're going to start the Ligature logo project. And you should be looking at this PDF. You're going to need a spare sheet of paper because I don't have printouts for you for this one. But what you're going to be doing is thinking about your initials and trying to connect those letters together differently than just kind of left to right normally. So they would be stacked on top of each other, they could be diagonal, they could connect some other way. And I have a couple examples of that on here, but you're going to kind of think about that with maybe some different fonts as well, some scripty fonts, some regular fonts, and you'll draw those first. So have those all set up before you come back here. We're going to make two artboards inside Illustrator for maybe the first time, and we're going to make at least two different versions of these. So you're going to have one with a couple different strokes colors on it, and then one that's 3D, and those could have multiple strokes as well, or they could just be different. I did have some steps on here that you can refer to, or you can refer to just me doing this in the video. That's okay as well. So to kind of start this process, we'll use the text tool. And, I'll pick my one letter to start. This is a font that I downloaded called Birds of Paradise, but maybe we'll start with just something basic to start with. So if I'm doing an N and an A, I want to keep these separate to start. So these will be separate text tools, and I'm just clicking on the screen for this. I'm not making text boxes. So these are completely separate of each other. And you'd kind of reference how did you bring these together. These could be two different typefaces as well. I could kind of cruise through here and find something different that I like and think about how they're going to kind of fit together. Do I want them to all overlap here? As I kind of do this, I like to make these have just a stroke so I can kind of see through them. And I'm starting to discover this is a weird font. So you can kind of see pieces of this. This will still work, but we'll have to Shapebuilder it. Yeah, something like this maybe. I don't know. Or let's do this the simple version. Let's kind of just connect it like so. A little bit over here, a little bit over here. Just because we're starting, right? As we do this, we are going to make outlines on this font. So we can't just do it normally with normal text. So I'm going to go to the Type menu and find Create Outlines. And when I click on that, I'll get outlines on all these things. And then we can do a shape builder on it. I like to do, we'll do some fills for the shape builder. Let's give them some different fills so we can see the things. And we'll zoom in so you can see it as well. To shape builder, we'll need to select it all. So I'll drag a little box around here with the black arrow. I'll go to my shape builder tool, and you can kind of see we're going to be meandering these together, right? So all those kind of built together. There's a spot in the middle. See the spot in the middle that I need to also add? You got to make sure you see just that green line all around. So this is a pretty easy one. These just kind of connected together. But that's it. We just made a Ligature logo. I have a couple more options here for us. This kind of regular one, which I liked the look of. This one is, these are very different pieces of typography. Maybe like the serifs are going to hold it up. Maybe the A even gets a little bit bigger. Maybe like that. That looks kind of cool. So we'll do some fills just so I can see them kind of together. We'll select them both and we'll do that, create outlines again. And then I can shape build them together. So some of these I could combine. So I could combine this kind of area. Maybe I hold Option and I like delete this or something. I don't really like that as much. It's just like one piece, right? So let's undo, let's undo, let's undo. I undid it a little bit too far. Let's do the create outlines one more time. We'll adjust it a little bit so we're like taking away a piece. Yeah, like something like, it's very similar, but maybe like this. Shape built. And I can take away that piece. So that was an Option click. Maybe this is an Option click as well. So we kind of just took away that piece of the N. And then I can kind of connect them all. There's a spot down here, connect them all. Yeah, that looks cool. Yeah, I like that. I'm not a huge fan of the top here. There's lots of stuff going on. This is really smooth. This is really nice. So as you kind of make these, do note of those areas where there's like a lot. Make a decision. Make a better decision than this up here. We could use the white arrow and kind of adjust this a little bit. So like I could zoom in here and physically adjust these points. Or we could use one of our pen tools and like delete anchor points and say, hey, I don't want you, I don't want you, and I want to move you like right over there. That's making a decision, you know? I wanted the end to kind of own that area a little bit more. So we took away the A pieces. Another one I have for you is kind of a scripty font. So if we do the strokes for this one, you can see this just kind of overlaps just in this area. Maybe I could adjust the A or something, or we adjust the size a little bit. I couldn't find something super scripty for you. Maybe like that. You're not locked in to what you sketched, but we would kind of like to follow it, at least to begin. If you want to try to shape build just in stroke mode, you also can do that. So you can see a little bit more about what's going on here. So that kind of builds these together. Should these have interacted at all? Maybe. Does this look more like a lowercase h right now? We got to kind of watch out for that kind of stuff, because people should be able to read these, be able to see those letter forms. Because I think this looks a little bit lowercase h-y. So I might want to adjust that one a little bit. So this is kind of the first step for this project, is getting used to the text tools, the shape builder, making outlines, moving stuff together, that kind of stuff. So this is kind of at the end of chapter 1, if you will. Okay. So we're going to come back in a moment and do the next part, and that's going to be, I'm going to add some 3D. I'm going to add some multiple strokes. Okay. So if you want to keep watching, go ahead. If you want to go away and do some things, go do that. So right now I'm going to take these ligatures and we're going to add some more detail to them. So I think this NA, maybe we'll just do these ones to start because they're pretty simple. Let's give it, yeah, a pink color. Okay. So we're going to be adding a double stroke or maybe even a triple stroke to this one. And how we're going to do that is in the Appearance tab or Appearance palette. If you're in Essentials Classic, it's a circle with dots around it. If you're not, it's in Window Appearance, and it'll come out as well. But you have to follow me along with this, okay? You got to make sure you're doing this right, or it's going to be frustrating. So if I notice my appearance, it says Group up here. We do not want to do anything when it says Group. What I would like to do is I'm on my black arrow, and I'm going to double click on this text here. So I'm going to double click, and this should change. Now this changed to no selection, and I'm in this kind of like isolation mode you have randomly been in before. So I'm inside of that group. That's where I want to be. If I click on this inside of the group, it says compound path. That's the one you want. You want it to say compound path. I'll do this one more time for you. When I clicked it once, it said group. I double clicked on the text and then I clicked on it once. It said compound path. Okay. I should be in this little isolation-y area. If I wanted to get out of it, I just double click on the, outside the artboard, or I can kind of go back up here. I like just double click here to get out. So if I clicked on it, I was in group, double click, no selection, but if I click on it once, compound path. Okay. So this says stroke. Right now there's a 1-point black stroke on it. Let's adjust that. So I can pick a color here if I would like. Or we can click over here and be like, maybe a new color. That would be nice. So this can be, you can kick up the size of this. Notice how it's kind of eating away at all the text. I want to adjust that a little bit. And how we're going to be doing that is I'm going to click on the word stroke, and it's going to give me some options. It says align stroke, and underneath here is default. It says align stroke to center, align stroke to inside, align stroke to outside. For this part of the project, I'm going to do align stroke to outside, and that instantly got better. You're always going to have the inside of your font when you do this, even if you just keep making it larger. It will kind of eventually eat away at things, but it's pretty nice. Now you can do more of these, but kind of the way this is going to work is we're going to have a stroke here that is the biggest it's going to be, and I'll hit stroke down here. So at the bottom it says like add new stroke, and it's just going to make another one. So it kind of bumped this down to be 17 point outside stroke. This one, let's change the color. Let's go like, I don't know, some blue situation. It's a 17 point stroke. It's the exact same as this. That's why it looks the same. If we make it a little bit smaller, you're going to see this is like eating this area. So it is, we see some of the blue, we see some of the green kind of area over here. So notice I'm making this smaller, right? If it's not outside again, I would make all of these outside. So I clicked on stroke and I was able to align stroke to outside. If you want more, yeah, we can make more. Of course we can make more. But the larger ones go near the bottom and the smaller ones go at the top, and you can kind of see what's going on here, right? So if I want to get out of this, I'll double click anywhere else. I'm out. I'm out. If you want to see this happen one more time, maybe I'll duplicate this one just so you can see it. We'll go a little faster for this one. I double click it. I clicked it. I got a stroke. If I don't have a stroke, I can make one. Let's go, like a light color. If I just make it thicker, it's going to eat away at that area a little bit. So I'll hit stroke, and we'll align that stroke to the outside. Great. If I want more, let's make another color. And I'll make this a little bit smaller because my biggest one's at the bottom. So you want to have at least 2 strokes for this. If you want to do more than that, that's cool. You want to do at least 2. And that's kind of, that's it for this part. We're going to do the next part, and that's going to be 3D. So we're going to do a 3D one. And let's do one of these with color. So we'll take this one and we'll do some 3D work to it. You might have already done a little 3D. We're going to go Effect, 3D and Materials, and Extrude and Bevel. And with this one, it should hopefully have brought up this 3D and Materials area. You can cruise around here, see about what's going on with this 3D thing. We can extrude in depth. We can add that twist if you want to. I would not hit bevel with this with our computers. It might edit or it might crash it a little bit. But if you're brave, hit save before you do it. But you could kick on bevel and actually adjust that. If things are rendering, give it a little time. You're going to be using a lot of computer resources with the 3D portion of this, just so you're aware. This brought those double strokes in. The outside stroke is the kind of outside area, but whatever that inside stroke is still there. If we picked on a material, this is going to take away those colors. So if I choose, I don't know, like the marble paint, it's going to take away a lot of our colors we put in there. But you can, adjust some of them if you want to. We can add that kind of pink color back. Weird. But I do want you to get familiar with some of these as well. So with ligatures, as we're talking about this, you can get into the lighting, you can get into the materials, you can get into the objects. What I'd like you to do is we're going to make, let's say we make at least 3 ligature logos in Illustrator. You're going to make 10 on paper. You're going to make at least 3 in Illustrator. I'd like you to make at least one that has a double stroke or more, and at least one of those is going to become 3D. Okay? And then those ones will get turned into Google Classroom. I hope this was helpful.